I just got this press release from the National Center for Public Policy Research. Black conservatives support Glenn Beck event on MLK Anniversary. This was just released. Dateline, Washington, D.C. Black activists with the Project 21 Leadership Network support the right of talk show host Glenn Beck to hold his Restoring Honor rally at the Lincoln Memorial on August 28, 2010, because Beck's event takes place on the anniversary and at the location of Dr. Martin Luther King's 1964 March on Washington rally. Leaders of the establishment civil rights oppose the event. It is my understanding from the reading of the Constitution that the First Amendment applies to all. And nothing better exemplified that than when Dr. King exercised his First Amendment right nearly 50 years ago, said Project 21 chairman. It isn't about Dr. King or the day or the venue itself. It's about contempt for the message. It is about those who trade on race as a means of notoriety and income, fomenting discord for the sake of keeping those who are loath to realize that they are free imprisoned on a plantation of resentment and bitterness. Wow. Beck's Restoring Honor Rally is described on its website as a way to celebrate America by honoring its heroes, heritage, and future. It also states it's a non-political event that pays tribute to America's service personnel and other upstanding citizens who embody our nation's founding principles of integrity, truth, and honor, faith, hope, and charity. The speakers include Beck, Palin, Dr. Alveda King, decorated Navy veteran Marcus Luttrell. He's not actually speaking, but he'll be there. Among the restrictions on the event, Beck wants no political signs because, quote, they may deter from the peaceful message we're bringing to Washington, end quote. Mark Morial of the National Urban League, a fierce critic of the Beck event, calls it insulting and a hijacking of the imagery and symbolism of August 28th in the Lincoln Memorial. Reverend Al Sharpton is planning a Reclaim the Dream rally, blah, blah, blah. Project 21 members question the goals and wisdom of the Sharpton-led event. So Al Sharpton essentially wants to crash Beck's event. Has anyone noticed how the left loves to invite themselves to things for the sole purpose of smearing them? Just because the good Reverend says he doesn't plan on confrontation, would he explain the provocation of having his marchers be turned loose within yards of Beck's rally? By the way, it's my understanding that march happens hours after ours. You might want to ask the families of those who suffered, died in the 1991 Crown Heights riot or the Freddie Fashion Mart firebombing in Harlem in 1995 about Sharpton's brand of non-confrontation and how it's working out for them. The only reason for bringing marchers that close to Glenn Beck rally is to start something, end quote. Groups such as the National Urban League must recognize Martin Luther King had no monopoly on the public square or the Lincoln Memorial. Holidays and special events are shared at various sites on the same day. Check out the record. Find out that Glenn Beck is holding his event on this day to honor Dr. King, as well as to remind all Americans that God alone can heal our republic. It is an event aimed at restoring honor, end quote. Wow. Project 21 is a nonpartisan organization that does not promote candidates or legislation. It's a nonprofit organization sponsored by the National Center for Public Policy Research, a leading voice of the African American community since 1992.